At the beginning of the year, there is a threat of trade chaos and losses of billions for the economy, and time is running out. The UK has not been a member of the EU since February 1st. In a transition phase until the end of the year, both sides wanted to reach a trade agreement, but the negotiations are on the brink. There are only a few days left to ratify an agreement in good time. That hardly seems possible anymore. But what if there is no deal? First of all, there are customs duties and import quotas. Great Britain would leave the EU internal market and the customs union on January 1st without any succession. Both sides would then introduce tariffs and quotas. Except if Gove really makes true what he said, that he won't do that for the first 6 months. But that would mean everything could come into the UK unchecked. So let's wait and see for that. The rules of the World Trade Organization, the WTO, should apply. There would be heavy premiums in a number of sectors. 37.5% for UK dairy products, 11.5% for clothing, 22% for vans and trucks, and 10% for automobiles. So you see now, very often I talked about the exports from the EU to the UK, but today I'm talking about the exports from the UK to the EU, or from our point of view in the EU, the imports we get from the UK. The auto industry in the rest of the EU fears a dramatic collapse in the mutual trade volume of 110 billion euros in the next 5 years. For Great Britain, this would mean a minus of 52.8 billion euros, for the EU states 57.7 billion euros. Accordingly, the industry sees thousands of jobs at risk. With or without an agreement, from January 1st there will be border controls again. In the case of a no deal, this burden would be significantly higher. According to British Customs, additional bureaucracy would cost businesses on both sides £15 billion, that's 16.4 billion euros a year. The British government expects, in the worst scenario, that up to 7,000 trucks could jam in the southwest of England due to controls on the English Channel. That's the thing with the famous Farage garage. Without an agreement, airlines lose their takeoff and landing rights. Air traffic would come to a standstill because of the serious effects. Temporary exemptions are likely. The EU summit generally called on the EU Commission in October to prepare unilateral and limited emergency measures in good time. In some cases, such emergency rules already exist for the financial sector, because the City of London is an indispensable financial center for the EU in certain part of the financial sector. It's only a very small one. It has nothing to do with the surplus that the UK made with their financial services. It is really only for the clearing business, and all the rest is gone then. A hard cut at the beginning of the year could lead to market turbulence. In September, the Commission therefore announced that it would allow British settlement houses for certain financial products, such as derivatives, to continue to do business on the EU market until mid-2022. For the British provinces, there is already a so-called fallback solution in the Brexit treaty. For Northern Ireland would therefore form a customs union with Great Britain. For goods from third countries that could get into the EU, the British authorities must therefore levy EU customs duties. Northern Ireland also continues to observe internal market standards from the EU in order to avoid border controls with Ireland. But it is precisely this solution that Prime Minister Boris Johnson has called into question again with legislative changes. And the EU fisheries are hit hard. Without an agreement, EU fishing vessels would no longer be allowed to cast their nets in UK waters. This would be a major blow, especially for France, Denmark, Belgium, the Netherlands or Spain. German fishermen, on the other hand, would hardly be affected. Citizens' rights are also already regulated in the withdrawal agreement. A good 3 million people from EU countries currently live in the UK, and more than 1 million British people in the EU. They have the right to stay, work or study. Claims for health insurance, pensions and other social benefits are also guaranteed. The EU repeatedly emphasized that the macroeconomic effects would hit the British much harder than the continental Europeans. And that will first have to be proven. Indeed, UK goods exports to the EU account for 47% of total exports. Conversely, it is only 8% for the EU countries. So it's not about the total numbers, but the percentage of your total export. However, this does not include new business or flexible trade agreements between London and third countries and regions, although whatever they have at the moment is not very significant. A study by a research center sees an exit without an agreement as particularly negative. In the long term, this is almost 3 times as expensive for the British economy as the consequences of the corona pandemic. According to this, UK growth over 15 years would be 5.7% lower. For COVID-19, it is only 2.1%. And if you now want to know more about Brexit, YouTube has chosen another of my videos right here for you on the end screen, right next to your subscribe button, which I hope you use. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!